breakfast coffee at our Airbnb, and we are headed out, leaving Gijon today and heading towards Bilbao. But on the way, we will be stopping at the Picos de Europa, which is a national park here in northern Spain, and we're very excited. So we have about an hour and a half drive until we get there, and I think it'll be pretty scenic. One thing to note, when we drove from Madrid to Gijon, there are tolls along the way, and they are pretty expensive. They're like 13-14 euros, but you can pay in credit card or in cash, but something to keep in mind if you're planning on renting a car and driving. So we came a little unprepared. We thought you could just drive to most of the Picos and like check out the viewpoints, stop along the way, like the way national parks are in the US, but you actually have to pay to take like a bus or a form of transportation, a taxi, whatever it is, because like the park is like a closed loop, or you have to get like some super expensive pass in order to drive your own car. And I promise you probably don't want to drive your own car because there's a lot of hairpin turns where two buses cannot physically pass each other, so having a professional driver do it for you is probably really good. And it was 9 euros per person for each of us, so it wasn't too bad. We got dropped off, and now we're going to explore a little bit. There's a ton of hikes you can do. They're about 1.5 hours to 2.5, unless you want to do a super long one. But I think we're probably just going to walk around and not do a specific hike, but just do parts of ones and explore. Finished up our hike in the Picos and grabbed some lunch in the area as well. Just a few tips from me after us coming super unprepared and not reading a ton about it. So there is a ton of parking lots on the way to the area where you officially enter the national park, which is gated off, and you have to pay for the bus. And there's a ton of different choices for the type of bus you get. Like we took the big ALSA tour bus, which was 8 euros per person, or 9 euros per person, and the bus has huge windows so you can enjoy the views. It's about a 30-minute drive from the closest parking lot to where they drop you off, which is like the visitor center, and from there you can do a ton of different hikes and stuff. And we were able to park at the closest parking lot. We just got lucky because there was only one spot left and we took it, but that one was pretty small. It was probably 8 cars. but there is a ton of other parking spots, and the bus goes to the main parking lot, so just walk to the closest parking lot, and there's a place to buy tickets at all of them as well. Another thing is there was not a lot of English or any English speakers. I think we didn't hear English the entire day, so you do get, when you get dropped off with the bus, a little explanation of a few different hike routes and things like that, where there's restaurants, where there's bathrooms, but they do it fully in Spanish. So I think you could probably ask and maybe they have some information, but I would look it up ahead of time and you would be able to see the map and see how long the routes are. We didn't do like a full hike, but what we did is we went to the Lago Enol and then went to the viewpoint at Mirador Entre Lagos, but we did like a shortcut way, so not the full hour-and-a-half hike. We just went to part of it, to like the highest point, took some pictures and went back. But there is a ton more hike options that you can even do from Covadonga, which is where we got parking, and then when we came back we ate in that Covadonga area where you can see a huge chapel cathedral up in the mountains. And from Picos de Europa we are headed to Mungia, which is just outside of Bilbao. We just got to our place, and it's kind of like a eco resort, so it's just outside of Bilbao, about 10-15 minutes, and looks like a resort property. I think it's called Basoan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we had reserved it through Airbnb. So let me show you guys this place. So you walk in, we have a little shoe and clothing rack. There's a desk with some of our food stuff. Don't mind the lasagna, I'll have to tell you the story later. We have a nice bed, a bunch of kitchen stuff in here, mugs, glasses, plates, cutlery. A decent kitchen with microwave, fridge, toaster. There's a small stovetop as well. Dining table, little high top. Sitting area, TV, and then some views of nature and mountains. There is also free breakfast included with our stay, and I think that's down at this terrace area tomorrow morning, and there is a pool as well, but there's a ton of people there, so I don't want to record. Here is the bathroom. Very nice decor. Wood countertop with a stone sink. There's even a towel warmer, which we will not be needing because of how warm it is. And then shower. Since we are out in the countryside now, we're just gonna do another grocery store dinner. We picked up some stuff. I'll show you our spread. I think Dylan's probably having the most interesting dinner. So some of the same stuff from last night. We got chips, we got some fresh strawberries, a lot of the Milka, we got another different kind. We got some fresh bread. We're gonna drink our cider that we got from Asturias. We have some cheese and jamon, some traditional ham that we're gonna make some sandwiches with. And Dylan is currently microwaving a lasagna. This is a funny story because he bought a lasagna from a gas station, as one does, and it wasn't one in like a refrigerated section by the frozen pizzas or anything. It was just on a shelf, like the way ramen is. And it's not refrigerated. It literally says on the package, do not refrigerate, doesn't need it. No preservatives, no GMOs, no artificial coloring, but we're microwaving lasagna. Oh, and we also have gazpacho. I just saw it in the fridge. We should take that though. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what It looks like when it's frozen, or not even frozen, because when it's not cooked, it just looks like a cheese block. And I don't think it's like lasagna what we traditionally think of in America. It looks like layers of beef cheese and maybe sauce, but there's no like noodle layer. But we're gonna enjoy our lovely view and take it all in. Okay, lasagna reveal time.
Wow.
Wow, so good. I think it might look worse than an airplane meal.